The result says the Springboks won, but the performance tells a much more complicated story. On a cold afternoon in Buenos Aires, South Africa secured a hard-fought 17-10 victory over Argentina, yet this was far from the dominant display many fans expected from the reigning world champions. Instead of a polished and commanding performance, it was a match built on resilience, patience, and the ability to survive difficult moments. For rugby supporters around the world, and especially for those already looking ahead to the highly anticipated rugby's greatest rivalry series against the All Blacks, this game offered plenty of talking points. Some will see it as evidence that the Springboks remain vulnerable, while others will argue it demonstrated exactly why they are still one of the toughest teams in world rugby. From the opening whistle, Argentina showed they had arrived with a clear plan. Their defensive intensity immediately put pressure on the visitors, slowing down ball movement and preventing the Springboks from building any rhythm in attack. The home side played with confidence and discipline, forcing mistakes and making every meter difficult to earn. Early on, it was clear that this was not going to be a comfortable afternoon for Rassie Erasmus and his team. The challenge became even greater when captain Siya Kolisi was forced from the field because of injury, creating concern among South African supporters who know how important his leadership and experience are, especially with major tests against New Zealand rapidly approaching. Losing a captain during a tense away match can often create uncertainty within a team, but the Springboks managed to stay composed and continue fighting through the adversity. While much of the pre-match attention focused on the return of several key players, including Sasha Feinbergen-Gomezlu, Eben Etzebeth, and Lude Jaeger, it quickly became clear that rust from long periods without rugby was always going to be a factor. Several players were appearing in their first competitive match in months, and it showed at times. The timing was not always perfect, combinations looked slightly off, and the attacking structure lacked its usual sharpness. To Argentina's credit, they took full advantage of those moments. Their defensive line moved aggressively, their breakdown work was effective, and they consistently disrupted South Africa's attempts to create momentum. One player who stood out throughout the contest was Santi Carreras. The Argentine playmaker controlled territory intelligently and appeared comfortable under pressure, often making the right decisions at crucial moments. Many observers felt he won the tactical battle against Feinbergen-Gomezlu, who is still developing at international level despite his enormous talent. Whenever Argentina needed calmness and direction, Carreras provided it, helping his side maintain pressure and keep the world champions from settling into their game. The opening stages rewarded the home side for their effort when Benjamin Grondona crossed for an important try that helped establish a 10-3 lead. At that point, the atmosphere inside the stadium was electric. The crowd sensed an opportunity, and the Springboks looked uncomfortable. For a period, the match belonged entirely to Argentina, who played with belief and energy while the visitors searched for answers. Yet elite teams often possess an ability to strike when it matters most, and that is exactly what happened just before halftime. In one of the best attacking moments of the match, Andre Esterhuizen produced a brilliant offload under pressure. Kanan Moody reacted quickly to keep the move alive, and Afalil Fassi created the final opening before Edwil van der Merwe finished the move. It was a sequence that reminded everyone of the quality that exists throughout the South African squad. Suddenly, a difficult first half ended with the scores level and momentum shifting ever so slightly. The second half continued in much the same fashion, with neither team able to fully control proceedings. The Springboks struggled to impose their traditional physical dominance, while Argentina continued to challenge every aspect of their game. One of the most encouraging stories for South Africa was the performance of Cameron Hanekom. Starting at number 8, he delivered a display filled with energy, work rate, and commitment. Despite the pressure of the occasion, he looked comfortable at international level and justified the faith shown in him by the coaching staff. However, even Hanekom found himself competing against the outstanding influence of Pablo Matera, the experienced Argentine forward who led from the front throughout the contest. At 33 years old, Matera demonstrated exactly why he remains one of the most respected figures in world rugby. His leadership, physicality, and determination helped keep Argentina competitive right until the final whistle. As the game entered its decisive stages, the famous South African bench once again played a crucial role. Over recent years, the so-called bomb squad has become one of the most talked about tactical innovations in international rugby, and once again it delivered an impact when it mattered most. Fresh legs and renewed physicality allowed the Springboks to gain control of key moments, particularly in the scrum. With just over 15 minutes remaining, sustained pressure near the Argentine try line resulted in a powerful 5-meter scrum. From that platform, Hanekom crossed for the try that finally gave South Africa the lead. It was not spectacular rugby, but it was effective, and at the highest level effectiveness often matters more than style. Even after falling behind, Argentina refused to surrender. Their belief never disappeared, and they continued searching for an opportunity to rescue the match. As the clock ticked down, tension grew with every phase. The home crowd sensed something special might still be possible. Then came one of the defining moments of the afternoon. A remarkable 50-22 kick from Matera gave Argentina one final attacking platform deep inside South African territory. Phase after phase followed as the Pumas pushed desperately toward the try line. The pressure mounted with each carry and pass. For a moment, it appeared that a dramatic finish was about to unfold. But in the final movement, Matias Moroni was unable to secure a difficult pass with the try line within reach. The ball slipped away, and with it disappeared Argentina's chance of earning at least a draw. It was a heartbreaking end for a team that had invested so much effort into the contest. For South Africa, however, it was a moment of relief and survival. After the match, Rassie Erasmus was honest in his assessment. He acknowledged that the performance itself was far from perfect but praised the character shown by his players. That distinction is important. Coaches often learn more from difficult victories than comfortable wins because challenging matches expose weaknesses while also revealing strengths that statistics alone cannot measure. The Springboks certainly have areas to improve. Their attack lacked consistency, their execution was below their usual standards, and there were periods when they struggled to adapt to Argentina's defensive pressure. Yet there were positives too. Key players returned to action, valuable game time was gained, younger squad members experienced a demanding international environment, and most importantly, the team found a way to win despite not playing its best rugby. Looking ahead, the biggest question remains what this result means for the upcoming clashes with the All Blacks. Some observers believe New Zealand will be encouraged after watching South Africa struggle to break down a determined Argentine side. Others will point out that international rugby is rarely straightforward and that championship-winning teams are often defined by their ability to secure victories on difficult days. The truth probably lies somewhere in between. The All Blacks are unlikely to be intimidated by what they saw in Buenos Aires, but they will also understand that a South African team capable of winning while under pressure remains a dangerous opponent. Both nations are still building toward their showdown, and neither side has revealed its full potential yet. For South Africa, there are additional concerns surrounding the fitness of Siya Kolisi, whose recovery will be closely monitored in the coming days. His presence extends far beyond what he contributes on the field. As captain, leader, and inspirational figure, he plays a vital role in the identity of this team. At the same time, the encouraging performances of emerging players provide optimism for the future. Rugby seasons are long and demanding, and squad depth often becomes the difference between success and disappointment. Matches like this help coaches identify which players are ready to step forward when required. Ultimately, this was not a performance that will be remembered for dazzling attacking rugby or moments of individual brilliance. Instead, it was a reminder of how difficult winning can be at the highest level. The Springboks arrived in Argentina carrying expectations, pressure, and a squad still finding its rhythm after injuries and absences. They encountered an Argentine team full of determination and ambition, and for much of the afternoon they were pushed to their limits. Yet when the final whistle arrived, the result belonged to South Africa. Whether this victory proves to be a warning sign or an important stepping stone toward greater performances remains to be seen. What is certain is that the road to rugby's greatest rivalry has become even more intriguing, and with every passing week the anticipation surrounding the upcoming battles between the Springboks and the All Blacks continues to grow.